Hey everyone, Joe Menza here, and I thought it would be helpful to go over some materials since I don't do that quite enough. So here we go. Okay, so here's most of the brushes I use. This is the large Ron Ranson Hake by ProArt, and there are cheaper Hakes, Hake brushes as they're technically supposed to be called. The thing about these brushes are they're trimmed so that you can get a razor edge. The other brushes that are similar will be more raggedy on the end. Okay, so this is I believe this is the small or the medium. They're so close that it really doesn't matter which one you have. But this is a smaller Ron Ranson ProArt brush. Notice it has a wooden handle. It's very, very lightweight. Next, this is the Frank Clark Simply Painting goat hair brush. And this one here, you'll notice it's a little bushier. I like it for different things. It's nice to have a couple different brushes. You can really do like leaves, very small. So I do like to use that one from time to time. And this is what he calls the baby goat hair brush. I like this one as well. Of course, right now they're dry, so they're not fully tamed. The next brush I like to have is a flat brush of some kind. I probably have 2-3 different sizes, but you should have like about an inch and about half this size would be advantageous to have. I also like to have a round brush from time to time. You never know when you're going to need something like this. And then, of course, I like to have a fan brush for doing pine trees. And then I like to have a rigger brush, something thin, nice and pointy. And then I also have this is a needle brush. This is one of Matthew Palmer's brushes. This one here holds more moisture, but yet it comes to a needle point. And then finally, this isn't a brush, but I do like to have a toothbrush for flicking and doing various different special effects. Okay, so next we'll talk about palettes and trays. This is a small tray if you want to travel. It's a small, lightweight tray. Trays are good because it gives you plenty of workspace. This is a plastic tray. You can get these from the Hobby Lobby store in the United States. It's plastic, so it's lightweight. They also have metal ones, which I do have one, but it's heavy. It's like a butcher's tray, and it's very heavy. Now, you can also buy things like this. This one I used acrylic paint in and didn't clean it, so I'm kind of got to do something to get this cleaned up. But this has got plenty of compartments if you want to work with a larger brush. You can work with small compartments, larger compartments, and something like this only costs about $5. Now, the next thing, you can use one of these. They're not airtight, but they're travel-based. You can put your thumb in here and you can hold it if you like holding it that way. You could put your colors in here and there's plenty of wells. These are just some of the ones I've used over time. And then finally, I like using one like this. It keeps the paints semi-wet. It has plenty of workspace. It has a gasket in here so it's airtight. And it's got plenty of room to work in here and here, so it's kind of like the best of all worlds. And this one closes up and seals nicely. Okay, so here's some other tools that I like to use. Here is a plastic card. This is used for scraping, creating textures. And I like the loyalty cards too because they're rounded on all corners and they're already cut for you. But these you can cut with scissors and you can make any size that you want. Just like this one, as you can see, you can make points on it. So you can do stuff like that. And I also like to keep at least a couple of these micron pens. I like these for making birds, signing my name. And then this is the Jelly Roll white pen. If you need to do anything in white, you can write with white, as you can see. And this is good for little small details or going around characters. And then of course, if you're going to have a pen, or pencil, I mean, you want to do sketching or drawing before you paint. Something with a soft lead that will come off somewhat easily. And then of course, I like to have a water bottle for spraying. This is important to have. I have a bunch of these. And then sandpaper is good to have. You can sand off certain areas of the paper. And then another thing that I like to have is I like to have an X-Acto. You can use this for scratching. You have to be very careful. These are very sharp. But you can use this for scraping. You can use it for creating little sparkles on water. So it's nice to have one of these X-Acto craft kits. And then something I've been fooling around with is these crayons. These are wax crayons. They're good for masking, which I don't really like masking fluids, so you won't see anything about that in this. So some of the other tools I like to have a sponge. You can dry off your water on your brush, or have a towel handy of some kind. A lot of times I'll have a big towel that I can, dry off the brushes on. An old towel laying around the house. And then let's talk about paints while we're here now. People have asked me what brands of paint I use. Cotman is a go-to paint. So let's go through here and see what we have. Now this is from when I first started. This is one of those economical paints you get at the hobby store. But I like M. Graham is a good brand. And here's another Cotman, Burnt Umber, and Alizarin Crimson Hue. And then of course also, let's see, these are, this is another M. Graham. And let's see, let's dig in here a little bit. And of course, this is Daniel Smith. Can't go wrong with Daniel Smith. This is a Blick brand paint, which these are okay too. Just, you got to look at the statistics of the paint and see what if they're light, fast, and so forth. This is QOR. These are expensive, but very, very good paints. This is Grumbacher Academy. So I've used various paints from time to time. This is the Hobby Lobby brand Master's Touch. I don't use those too much anymore, but people are always asking me what paints I use, and I understand people want to know exactly what you use so they can sort of duplicate what you're doing. Let's see here, we have Cotman Cobalt Q, and we have some gouache here. I have some various types of gouache. I always keep a white gouache of different types. You never know when you might need a little bit of white. I tend to use white a little more than the average person. And now let's go to these clips as long as we're on here. These are called bullnose clips, and they're good for affixing the paper to your board. Now this is the board that I use. Now this was once a palette, believe it or not, and I didn't have a board, so I use this because I don't use wooden palettes. These are more for oil painting. But you can use these clips to hold your paper to the board, or you can simply use a roll of tape. So you can get clips in different sizes depending on what you like. There's a small, medium, and a large. So depending on what you like, you can use different sizes. Okay, here's a few of the different papers that I use. This is the Fabriano Studio 11 by 14, and this is not 100% cotton, it's 25% cotton. I do like this paper. It's 11 by 14. You can see the texture. Next on the list, we have Kensun XL. This is a cold press paper, and this one here doesn't have as much grain to it. but it's more of an economical paper. We have Fabriano hot press paper. This is an old one that I did a long time ago. And this is very, very smooth paper. I haven't used this for a while, but I'm going to have a reason to use it soon. It's 140-pound paper. And then, of course, the one a lot of professionals like to use, they like to use Arches. This is 100% cotton, and it's a good all-around paper. It's got a good tooth to it. It's expensive. You'll pay at least $20 for a pad. This size pad, you'll probably pay $25, $30 unless you have like a coupon. This is the one from Cheap Joe's. This is Kilimanjaro. And this paper here is actually 300 pound. Look at this is, you know, this is sealed on all sides, but this is a very, very thick. I can't really show you because it's attached, but this is a very, very thick paper. And then, of course, this is a larger pad of hot press. More Arches. This is a smaller pad of Arches. And then here's something you may find discount-wise. This is just a inexpensive Hobby Lobby brand watercolor paper, okay for practicing on. And more Kilimanjaro. So those are basically the stack that I just grabbed, and those are a lot of the papers that I'll use from time to time. Anything cotton I'm willing to try. There's a few others. There's Strathmore and a few others. But those are the papers I use the most. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope this helps you. If you have any questions about materials, as always, leave me a comment in the comments section. And any other materials that I come by, of course, I will share. So, happy painting, and I'll have some more videos up soon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support, as always. Have a great week.